Hey guys! Welcome to the latest episode of SV. Terapagos looked upon him like an angel made of crystals. Ash's mind filled with every moment when Pikachu had failed to terastalize as a wave of crystalline energy reached Ash's fallen Terra orb. Then reaching Pikachu, something magical happened. A Terra form unlike they've ever seen. Namona was shocked as Ash took command with Pikachu. Ash's Pikachu has finally terastalized. A renewed vigor filled his veins as Ash commanded him to use Thunderbolt on Koraidon. Pikachu was so fast that Miraidon couldn't block it. Pikachu immediately turned and struck it with Iron Tail as the battle went on. The AI professors were equally fascinated and enraged after seeing Terapagos power up Pikachu, but they can't focus on the legendary Pokémon as long as this battle was going. Arvin stood there frozen, feeling detached from reality. He still couldn't believe all this was actually happening, but for once, his eyes weren't glued on Ash's battle, rather, he was staring at Terapagos. The brilliant cyan shine of those eyes surrounded by otherworldly crystals. It was ethereal, all-consuming. And just like that, the reality blurred, dulling at the edges until only the cyan glow remained. Arvin stood there, but his mind was miles away, locked with the very legendary Pokémon that started everything. Standing face to face, Arvin couldn't stop his tears as he screamed out his pain at Terapagos, from losing his parents to the research to this impossible face-off. He poured out everything and Terapagos heard it all. Its eyes never losing the magical glow, staying hard as ice, because there was never a time when its attention wasn't in the boy who was crying his pain in front of him. And it had started with his curious, naive parents. Terapagos had watched as they had invaded its sanctuary, named it Area Zero, disturbing the habitat of thousands of Pokémon that lived there for years. They had built and built and built numerous machines, trying to mimic a fraction of the power of those Pokémon from Legends. Eventually they trespassed the passage of time and summoned Koraidon and Miraidon. It was a paradox. They were never supposed to exist in the same place, divided by thousands of years between them. Of course they went to war against each other. But there's something magical about the bond between humans and Pokémon. Those professors tamed those beasts. Made friends even. Terapagos had watched with amusement. Until the little boy walked in one evening, slipped, his hand falling on something that made Koraidon and Miraidon lock horns. The little family fell apart right there. The boy was so overwhelmed, his consciousness left him as the legendary dragons turned to him. But Terapagos had enough. Taking pity on the young orphaned boy, it did the necessary, transported him back home, calmed the dragons, and filled life in the AI versions of the professors, the real ones had left behind for this exact scenario. How smart of them. At least the boy wouldn't grow up without parents. How wrong was Terapagos. The AI professors had continued the real one's research, called the paradox Pokémon in the world. They shouldn't have existed. They ruined the balance. And now they were destroying the very region Terapagos called home. Ash and Pikachu were finally dominating the battle. Koraidon and Miraidon fell on their knees, struggling to match the might of a world champion Pokémon powered by a god. The whole Paldea region was in chaos as everyone struggled to battle the rampaging paradoxes. Every trainer and Pokémon coming together to protect their home. Arvin was tired of everything. He fell on his knees, begging Terapagos to end this destruction he had started years and years ago. Ash commanded Pikachu for one final Thunderbolt. The resulting blast shook the whole structure as Koraidon and Miraidon, shocked by the unreal energy, finally fell. The AI professors glitched as anger boiled over. They couldn't believe it was possible that a mere second stage Pokémon can beat the mighty legendary gods of Paradox Pokémon themselves. The crystals receded from Koraidon and Miraidon's bodies, as they were useless for the AI now. Nemona expressed her joy at Ash's victory, then immediately ran to the defeated dragons, tending to their injuries. The reality suddenly crashed over Arvin as he looked around himself, taking in the scene as Ash clutched his Pikachu with pride and Nemona sprayed a super potion on Koraidon's body. The AI professors were seething as they turned the time machine on. Roars of more Paradox Pokémon echoed from it as Arvin stood up in panic. A bright flash suddenly engulfed them. As numerous Paradox Pokémon filled the area, their roars and cries made the whole structure tremble with their might. Ash, Nemona and Arvin stood there stunned, staring down the army of Paradox Pokémon. The AI professors laughed again, a maniacal grin spreading on their faces as they prepared to demolish the very foundation of Area Zero Lab, once and for all. Koraidon and Miraidon were still weak, but they took the stand, facing the Paradoxes. But this time, Terapagos had enough. A glow unlike they've ever seen filled the whole area, a magical shimmer taking over everything as Terapagos roared. Terapagos gathered the Terra energy from every corner of the Paldea region, transforming in a mighty form foretold in legends. Arvin's eyes widened. This was the very figure that he had seen years ago in that ripped page from his parents' book. The stellar form of the legendary Terapagos. So the 31st episode ends here, guys. The next episode is under production right now. I'll make sure to complete it as soon as possible. Follow my Twitter aka X account to get new updates. Be sure to like, share and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so you won't miss my videos. See you in the next video.